international organization, the organ of United Nations, state regionalism and non-state regionalism in the four organizations, and this is what we're going to learn from lesson 4 and 5. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's a call for a new journey of learning and exploration towards globalization. I am Angelique Cristaifume and welcome to the Contemporary World Talk. We have invited some special guests to share the knowledge and learnings, and help me welcome our very first guest, Ms. Angelique Cristaifume, who will be discussing the power of international organization. Let's give her a round of applause, please. Thank you, Ms. Angelique. So hello everyone. So we all know that international organization refers to the international intergovernmental organization or groups that are primarily made up of member of states. So there are three types of power. International organization or IOs, and these three are listed by the international scholars, Mr. Michael and Ms. Morta. So the first power is the power of classification. So what is this all about? The power of classification is the ability to classify object and shift definition or identify. Second is the power to fix meanings. Power to fix meanings. States, organization, and individuals views IOs or international organization as legitimate sources of information. As such, the meaning they create have effects on various policies. For the third one, and lastly, is the power to diffuse. The power to diffuse is IOs or international organization exercise a third type of power by spreading and enforcing global values and norms. Thank you very much, Ms. Angeli, for sharing your knowledge about the power of international organization. And now, let's move on to the organs of United Nations to be shared by Mr. R.V. Umina. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
So now, I'll discuss and differentiate comprehensively the organs of the United Nations. The United Nations is neither a suprastate nor a government of governments. It does not have an army, and it imposes no taxes. It depends on the political will of its member states to have its decisions put into action and relies on the contribution of its members to carry out its activities. The 6 organs of the United Nations are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat. All were established under the UN Charter when the organization was founded in 1945. The General Assembly is the main deliberative, policy-making, and representative organ of the UN. The Security Council has primary responsibility under the UN Charter for the maintenance of international peace and security. The Economic and Social Council is the principal body for coordination, policy review, policy dialogue and recommendations on economic, social, environmental issues as well as implementation of international agreed development goals. The Trusteeship Council was established in 1945 by the UN Charter under Chapter 13 to provide the international supervision for 11 trust territories that had been placed under the administration of 7 member states. The International Court of Justice is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. The Secretariat comprises the Secretary General and tens of thousands of international UN staff members who carry out the day-to-day work of the UN as mandated by the General Assembly and the organization's other principal bodies.
Thank you so much, Mr. RV, for sharing knowledge about the organs of United Nations. And now, let's move forward to the next topic, which is the differentiation of state regionalism and non-state regionalism, to be shared by Mr. Marvin Lanciano and Mr. Diandro Lorena. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
State regionalism, also known as the regionalized unitary state, refers to a state that has been theoretically unitary, but decentralizes a large amount of political power to regional governments. a political philosophy that aims to give citizens through one or maybe more subnational regions more political power, control, or self-determination. It focuses mostly on establishment of such a political or social structure centered through one or more regions, and perhaps even the national normative or economic interests of such a particular area, group of regions, or another subnational body gaining strength from and then seeking to reinforce consciousness of this and allegiance to something like a distinct region with such a homogeneous population similar to nationalism. Regionalism consists of following three distinct elements: movements seeking territorial autonomy within unitary states, the organization of the same central state on something like a regional basis for the delivery of the latter's policies, including regional development policies, and democratic decentralization and regional autonomy. According to the definition, state regionalism recognizes or addresses common economics or economies, trading agreements, free trade zones, and customs unions as examples of economic regionalism.
Let's recap a bit what Marvin discussed in the state regionalism. He said that the state regionalism is also known as the regionalized unitary state that has been theoretically unitary but decentralized a large amount of political power to regional governments. Now on the state regionalism. The state regionalism, it is only the states that agree to work together in the name of a single cause. Communities and non-governmental organizations also engage in regional organizing. It also relies on the power of individuals, NGOs, and associations to link up with one another in pursuit of a particular goal. Identified with reformists who share the same values, norms, institutions, and systems. Some partner with governments to initiate social change. For example, the ASEAN on Human Rights Declaration and NAFTA or the North American Free Trade Agreement. So it involves organization having powerful economic, political, or social power that ables to influence in an international level. Now let's proceed to the difference of the two, the state regionalism and the non-state regionalism. The state regionalism is a government while the non-state regionalism is not, and who are partially or fully independent from the state or government.
Thank you so much, Mr. Larena and Mr. Linciano, for sharing knowledge about the difference of regionalism and non-state regionalism. For the last part of our lesson, Miss Inog, Miss Maxine, Mr. Barry, and Miss Ella will share the knowledge about the four organizations, which is the NATO, OPEC, NAM, and ASEAN. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Discuss individually and comprehensively the following. The reason for their establishment is very important to discuss. Letter A is the NATO. Ang North Atlantic Treaty Organization o mas kilala bilang NATO ay isang organisasyong internasyonal o samahang pandaigdig para sa kapayapaan at pagtatanggol na nalunsad noong 1949 mula sa Tratado ng Hilagang Atlantiko na nilagdaan sa Washington, Estados Unidos noong ika-4 ng Abril 1949. Ang North Atlantic Treaty Organization ay isang ahensya ng seguridad ng 30 mga bansa mula sa North America at Europe na ang layunin nito o rason bakit ito pinatayo ay upang mapanatili ang kalayaan at kapayapaan sa bawat bansang kabilang ng NATO at higit sa lahat ay upang mapanatili ang magandang relasyon ng bawat bansa sa pangunguna ng mga punong opisyal kabilang nga dito ang mga military.
So, discuss individually and comprehensively the following. So, number 1 is NATO, number 2 is OPEC, number 3 is NAM, and number 4 is ASEAN. The topic that I will discuss is OPEC. So, what is the meaning of OPEC? OPEC means Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. So, how OPEC was formed? The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries was founded in Baghdad, Iraq, with signing of an agreement in September 1960 by 5 countries, namely Islamic Republic of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. They were to become the founder members of the organization. So, who are the 7 current members of OPEC? The current OPEC members are the Alegria, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Libya, Nigeria, the Republic of the Congo, Saudi Arabia, which is the de facto of leader with the United Arab Emirates, and Venezuela. So, the mission of this organization is to coordinate and unify the petroleum policies of its member countries and to ensure the stabilization of markets in order to secure a efficient economic and regularly supply of petroleum to consumers, and steady income to producers and a fair return on capital for those investing in the petroleum industry. So what are the benefits of being in OPEC? The aim of OPEC is to provide the stabilized prices on oil for the member countries by controlling the prices through quotas. So OPEC provides equilibrium and sustainability between such market phenomena as consumers' demand on crude oil and supply of the producers by using the tool of quotas in oil producing.
So what's up? So in today's video, I'll be talking about NAM. What is NAM and why NAM is established? So first of all, NAM, or also known as Non-Aligned Movement, is an international organization who do not want to be officially aligned with or against any major power bloc like the Western Bloc, also known as Capitalist Bloc, which is the United States, and the Eastern Bloc, also known as Communist Bloc, which is the Soviet Union. So NAM is formed during the Cold War, largely on the initiative of the Yugoslav President Josip Broz Tito, as an organization of states that did not seek to formally align themselves with either the United States or the Soviet Union, but sought to remain independent or neutral. So, the purpose of NAM is to ensure the national independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, and security of allied countries. So, all members of the NAM, or the non-aligned movement, have equal weight within this organization. So, the objectives of this NAM is to eliminate all causes which could directly lead to war, protect human rights, strengthen the world peace, and strengthen the United Nations.
So, good day everyone. Our topic for today is all about ASEAN. So I have a question for you. What is ASEAN? So let me explain what is ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Nation. Was formed in 1967 by Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand to promote the political and economic cooperation and regional stability. ASEAN is an economic comprising 10 member states of Southeast Asia which promote governmental corporation facilitates economic. The purpose of the ASEAN Declaration states that aims and purposes of the association are to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation of prosperous and peaceful community in the Southeast Asian nation, and to promote regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and the rule of law. In the relationship among countries in the region and the pillars in the principles of the United Nations are clear.
And that's it for today. At dito lang sa The Contemporary World Talk.